right, our lesson today, 2.02 Applications of Cylinders. You will need your math notebook, a pencil, and your calculator. Please make sure you are taking notes and working out the problems as we go through this video. We'll go ahead and look at our essential question. So how do I solve problems involving volume of cylinders? I will be able to describe the volume formula V equals BH of a cylinder in terms of its base area and its height and solve problems involving the volume of cylinders so that I can determine the volume of a cylinder. I'll know I got it if I can interpret the diagram or word problem to find the volume of a cylinder. So we're just going to jump right into some practice problems since we've already gone through how to use that formula. So this first one says a jar of mayonnaise is shaped like a cylinder. The radius of the jar is 1.5 inches and the height is 7 inches. The mayonnaise sells for 8 cents per cubic inch. What's the cost of the jar of mayonnaise? So taking it a little bit further here. Now remember, it's a good idea to draw it out. It doesn't have to be perfect because you know mine aren't for sure. Mayonnaise is a jar is a cylinder. It says that the height is 7 inches and it does give us the radius. That's 1.5. Now we're not going to use this information here until the end. We got to find the volume first. The volume is going to be the amount of mayonnaise in the jar in cubic inches. Starting with our formula, volume is equal to the base times the height. The base is a circle. Oh, hold on. I've been working with cones and just got carried away by putting that 1/3 there. Sorry. All right. Back it up. Here we go. So the base is a circle. So we're going to do pi r squared times the height. Now we're going to use 3.14 for pi because it tells us to. Our radius is 1.5. We're going to square that and then we're going to multiply by the height. So use that calculator. 1.5 squared is 2.25. So we'll go ahead and write that down. So now we have 3.14 times 2.25 and then times 7. Now you should already have the 2.25 in your calculator. So now you can just say, well, I want to take that answer, multiply it by 3.14 and then multiply that by 7. And it comes out to 49.455. That is our volume. Now we define the cost that says the mayonnaise sells for 8 cents per cubic inch. And this is the mayonnaise jar has 49.455 cubic inches of mayonnaise. Remember, volume's always cubic units because you're filling it up. So now we're going to take that number and we're going to multiply it by the 0.08 to find out the cost of the jar. So times 8 cents and see what we get. Should already have that number in your calculator, 49.455 times 0.0, whoops, back up, it's messed up, times 0.08. I get 3.9564. So interesting. We need this to be rounded. Oh, 9564. Okay, so because it's money, we have to round to the nearest penny. So 2 decimal places. Here's our 5, that's in the hundreds place, our pennies. The 6 says round that up. So our cost of the mayonnaise jar will be $3.96. All right, next one. Alice purchased paint in a bucket with a radius of 3.5 inches and a height of 8. Paint costs 5 cents per cubic inch. What's the total cost? Okay, similar type of problem. This time we're going to have a bucket of paint. Excuse my drawing, it's terrible. The height is 8 inches. The radius is 3.5. So first we had to find out how much paint is in there, and then we're going to find out the cost. So we're going to use our formula to find out the volume, how much paint is in there. The base is a circle, so pi r squared. We're going to use 3.14 for pi because it tells us to. Radius is 3.5. We have to square that and then multiply by the height of 8. Use your calculator. So we're going to do 3.5 squared and we get 12.25. So then we're going to multiply these numbers together. 3.14 times 12.25 times 8. Go ahead and use your calculator, multiply those out. You should get 307.72. So that's the volume, how much paint is in there. Now to find the cost, you're going to take it and now we're going to multiply that by 5 cents. So just take your answer and multiply 0.05. And we get 307.70. That's not right. Hold on. Something is not right working out here. Okay, so let me retype it. Hopefully your calculator is working better than mine. 307.72 times 0.05. There we go. Now always check your display. Oh, I know what I did. I added. I see it now. It says plus. You need to multiply, Miss Horton. It's 15.386 is what we get. 15.386. Round to the nearest penny. All right, so the 8 is in the pennies or hundreds place. That 6 tells us round that up. So it's going to be $15.39. Our last one. Cylinder-shaped dispenser holds 5,652 cubic centimeters of liquid soap and is now full. The radius of the dispenser is 7.5 centimeters. What is the difference between the height of the soap in the full dispenser and the height when there's 4,239 cubic centimeters of soap remains in the dispenser? Ooh, so this is a lot different. They've given us the volume of it when it's full, and then when it has some soap that's been taken out. So I'm going to draw, or try to, a soap dispenser that's a cylinder. So what we know when this is full, the radius is 7.5. The volume is 5,652 cubic centimeters. The other thing they tell us is the volume when some soap has been taken out is 4,239. Same radius. All right, and a question here is what's the difference in the height of the soap dispenser full and when it's not full? So we are looking for the height when it's 4,239 and when it's completely full. We're going to start with our formula. This one's a tricky one. We're going to plug in what we know. We actually have to do both of these. We're going to start with it full. We know the volume. Let me go ahead and put pi r squared here. We know the volume is 5,652. It says to use 3.14 for pi. We know the radius is 7.5. We have to square that. We don't know what h is. So we're going to go ahead and simplify the right side. We're going to do 7.5 squared and we get 56.25. So we still have 5,652, 3.14, and this is 56, what I tell you was 0.25. And then H. So we're going to now multiply 3.14 times the 56.25, keep simplifying, and we get 176.625. We still have the H. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so now we're going to solve by dividing this by 176.625. And you have to do it with both sides. So when it's full, let's go ahead and do that. So go ahead and put it into your calculator. 5,652 divided by 176.625. It's actually 32. So that's when it's full. 32 is the height. Now let's go ahead and do it when it's at 4,239. Same steps. We have pi r squared. Now, one thing to think about here, this side is not going to change because the radius is the same, pi is the same. We're just looking for the h here. So I'm going to jump down to this step here, but this time the volume is 4,239. And it's 176.625 H. And we're going to divide by 176.625 on both sides. And that's going to give us the height when it is not full. Put that into your calculator, 4,239 divided by 176.625, and it's 24. Still don't have the answer yet. So it wants to know what the difference is. So now we're going to take 32 and subtract 24. The difference is 8, and this is in centimeters, so it's 8 centimeters. That's it. All right, make sure you complete your OMS lessons. Go through them carefully, do all the work problems, take notes.